Hello everyone, welcome back to class. This is Stephanie Ponteau. This is the Vision Church Level 2 class. There's my contact information. This is the class for Monday, May 18th, part 2. This is part 2 of Monday's class, and I see I've got a new pointer here because I've got a lot of stuff on the board here that I'm going to point to, and I'm going to step aside so you can see the board. Now, you do have these ads in your book, but I wanted to be able to point to them as we go through it, okay? So, we're continuing on in Unit 9. This is Lesson C, which we started, and we're going to continue on with Lesson C, and this is page 115. All right, so you see these are two ads for two different electric companies, okay? Westerly Electric and Midway Electric. And we're going to read these ads in order to answer some questions about the two electrical companies, okay? So if you look at page 115, exercise B, it says talk. Change the bold words and make conversations. Now, this is one of those lessons that I really like to do in class because you guys get to talk to each other and ask questions. And so you'll have to, as always, now that we're doing video classes, I'm your partner. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the two ads and we're going to answer, we're going to make statements about those numbers 1 through 8. And I added a couple more too that we're going to do. All right, so let's just do the practice conversation. Which electric company do you recommend? I recommend Westerly Electric because it's open 24 hours a day. Okay, so number 1, open 24 hours. So we're going to ask the question. Which electric service do you recommend? I recommend Westerly Electric because it's fully insured. So you see how this exercise goes? You're going to make the recommendation for the company who meets the criteria that's in that statement. And you're going to add because when you're giving a reason for something, you add the word because. So let's do number 3. So this is where we need to look at the ads in order to make those statements, to answer the question about the recommendation. So the first one that the number 1 was we were making the recommendation for the one that's open 24 hours. And if we look at Westerly Electric, we can see right here, their second bullet, it says 24-hour, 7-day emergency service, okay? So we would say, that's why we said, that's why we recommended Westerly Electric, because they meet the criteria for number 1 of being open 24 hours, okay? Does that make sense? All right. So number 2 was fully licensed. Who's fully licensed? Midway Electric, you see? The first thing in their ad says fully licensed. So that's why we recommended them. All right, so number 3, it says owner operated. So who is owner operated? Let's look at the ads. Yep, right there. You see that? Owner operated. So the answer to that question was, I recommend Westerly Electric because they are owner operated. Now, what does it mean when a company is owner operated? Owner operated. That means the owner works for the business and manages the business. And it's usually a small and friendly company. Like my favorite Chinese restaurant is owner operated. It's a family that operates the restaurant, and they're very nice people. They give, it's a small, very small restaurant. The children work there. Both parents work there. And every time we go, the whole family is there. The mom and dad are back there cooking. The kids, one of the kids is usually at the cash register, and the other kid is at a table doing homework. So that's an owner operated business. All right. And there are quite a few of them around. The lawnmower company that I use is owner operated. It's a small business. The guy who used to do our lawn, um, it was a Spanish family, and it was the guy and his niece that worked together to do our lawn care. So there are a lot of owner operated businesses around, and they're usually smaller. Okay, so let's go on. Number 4 says open 7 days a week. All right, there we go, right there. Westerly Electric. So number 4, which electric service do you recommend? I recommend Westerly Electric because they're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So right there, 7 days a week. All right. Number 5, on Main Street. Which which electric service do you recommend? I recommend Midway Electric because they're at 50 Main Street. You see that? All right. Number 6 says fully insured. Which electric company do you recommend? Right there. I recommend Westerly Electric because they are fully insured. Number 7, cheaper. Which electric service do you recommend? $65 an hour, $55 an hour. So my response would be I recommend Midway Electric because they're cheaper. You see? 55 is less than 65, so they are cheaper or less expensive. Okay? That's you're saying the same thing. Cheaper and less expensive means the same thing. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna step aside again. All right, number 8. Less expensive per hour. Which electric company do you recommend? I recommend Midway Electric because it's cheaper. All right. So it's the same company we recommended because 7 and 8 basically means the same thing. Okay. Less expensive per hour and cheaper basically is the same thing. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. So now what we're going to do is exercise 3 says communicate. All right. For each place, write 2 or 3 names of businesses in your community. Now, this would be really fun to do in class as well because everyone could raise their hand and add something to our list for the places in your community. But since I'm your only partner, you'll have to listen and hear about places that I know about in the community. Okay? All right, so I'm going to erase the board and make room for this new list. But before I do that, let me just read the useful language box down here. See it right down there at the bottom, that blue bubble? All right. Because once we make this list of places in our community, we're going to talk with your classmates, which will be me. You're going to talk and have a conversation and ask and answer questions about the places in your community. Now, the useful language is going to come in, and I'm going to use this useful language for you so you can see how to use it. So the useful language would be I recommend, I suggest, I like, and I prefer. Those are just all different ways um, to suggest to someone which place to try out or which place to visit, okay? All right, so let me erase the ads. So I hope everyone is doing great during this COVID-19 time. I hope you're staying safe and spending really good time with your families. I am indeed, but I am definitely looking forward to getting back to class. All right, so for each place, write 2 or 3 names of businesses in your community. Okay, number 1, supermarkets. Supermarkets. So I'm just going to write the number. I'm not going to write the word supermarkets because you have that in your book. So I'm just going to write the places in my community, the supermarkets. I like Sprouts and Kroger. All right. Number 2, restaurants. Now I know you guys would have all kinds of great ideas for me. And actually, my favorite restaurant, I really don't know the name of it because it's in the food court at the IC market. So I'll just say the IC market because I really don't know the name of the restaurant. But it's a wonderful Korean restaurant that I used to visit about every 2 weeks before this pandemic started. I can't wait to get back in there when things settle down. But the IC market is one of my favorite restaurants. And another favorite restaurant is Chipotle, Mexican Grill. Do you guys like Chipotle? You like Mexican food? Yeah. So those are my 2 favorite restaurants in my community. Number 3, pharmacies. Okay. And what's a pharmacy? A pharmacy is a drugstore. Same thing. Pharmacy, drugstore. That's a place where you can go and get prescription medicines. You can get over-the-counter medicines and a whole lot of other personal items that you need for yourself in your home, right? Not really a grocery store. They have a little bit of groceries in there, but it's mostly for those type of items. And so my favorite, the pharmacies in my community is Walgreens and the pharmacy in Kroger. And there's CVS, Kroger Pharmacy. All right, number 4, gas stations. My gas station that I like in my community is QT. And I go to the Kroger gas station a lot too. Those are the gas stations that I go to the most. There are tons of gas stations around, as you guys know. Number 5, banks. All right. Delta Community is a credit union in my community, and Bank of America and Wells Fargo. There's tons of banks. Okay. I'm sure some of you might bank somewhere else too. That's why this would be really fun in class for me to get information and hear about you guys' activities as well, but sorry. All right, number 6, department stores. Macy's and Burlington are some of the ones in my community that I like to go to. 7 fast food restaurants. Now, the difference between fast food restaurants and full service restaurants. Fast foods is like McDonald's, Burger King. Those are the places where you usually just go to the counter and order your food and get it. They don't come to the table and bring it to you and bring you water and stuff like that. So, although Chipotle is a fast food restaurant, so I'll take it off of my. So is the IC market actually. So I'll put, I'll move Chipotle down here and in the market, the grocery store in IC. I'll put them down here. And my favorite full service restaurants are Chili's. I like Chili's. And let's see. And let's say Cheesecake Factory. No, Bahama Breeze. They got some fabulous jerk wings. So Chili's and Bahama Breeze. All right, and then the last one, 8 coffee shops. Ooh, my favorite. So I like Starbucks. There's a few of those in my community, and it's right over off Satellite. Oh darn, I can't remember. So anyway, we'll leave it at Starbucks. Oh, White Windmill. They just opened a White Windmill in my community. Okay, all right. So those are all the different places in my community for exercise 3. And then we were going to talk with classmates, ask and answer questions about the places in your community. For example, what supermarket do you like? And when you answer, you say because and you tell the reason why. So, what supermarket do you like? Oh, I like Sprouts, because they have a good selection of organic fruits and vegetables. So, I like Sprouts. All right. Which restaurants do you like? I like Chili's because they have a delicious chili mango chicken dish, and I can get asparagus and rice with it. Ooh, and I just love it. It's so good. And they have a lot of what do you call that? Oh gosh, like incentives where the more you come, you can earn free things. And you guys know how much I love discounts and free. All right, so let's just do a couple more. I think you get the idea of practice using which. We're asking which questions, and we're answering it using some of the useful language. Okay, so which gas stations do you like? That's the which question. And I would say, I recommend Kroger because they have the best prices. Okay. Which banks do you like? Which bank do you like? I like Bank of America, or I prefer Bank of America because they have a branch convenient to my home, and they have free checking accounts, which I appreciate, and they give good service. So, which bank? And I told you which one, and I said because. And you always say because before you give your reason. Okay? All right, let's do one or two more. Which department stores do you like? I suggest Macy's because they have really nice quality clothing and they have great sales and coupons. And you guys know I love coupons. All right, so that's it. You can practice that a little bit more with your family and friends if you like, or you can call me if you ever just want to have some English conversation practice or get ideas or suggestions. So anyway, I'm always here. Please don't forget to make a comment, leave a comment below the videos so that CPAX knows that they are useful and helpful. And every comment doesn't have to be good. If you need me to change something, let me know that as well because these videos are for you. They're for your benefit and I want to make sure that they are helping you. So thanks for coming to class. Thanks for doing your homework and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Stay safe.